The Abandoned Land of Pandavas. A horror novel. In the heart of northern India, nestled between two insignificant villages and the winding banks of the now drying Saraswati, lay a barren expanse of land known as Pandav Bhumi. Locals never stepped near it. No crops grew on it, no birds circled above, and no animals crossed its stretch. In village folk songs and whispered tales, the land was said to have once belonged to the Pandavas themselves, 5 warrior brothers of myth, who had tilled the earth with divine hands during their exile. But something went horribly wrong. No one remembered exactly when the curse began. Some said it was after the bloodshed of Kurukshetra, when the Pandavas returned to reclaim what was once theirs. Others believed a dark ritual was performed on the land by a dying Kaurava, his blood soaking into the soil and poisoning it forever. Whatever the truth, one fact remained undisputed: anyone who tried to farm the land died mysteriously within days. When Arjun Pratap, a young agricultural officer from Delhi, arrived in the area, he was both amused and intrigued by the villagers' fear. Fresh out of university and full of ambition, he laughed at curses and legends. He was sent there as part of a government project to revive and cultivated lands. When he mentioned Pandav Bhumi in the village panchayat meeting, silence fell. Even the cows in the distance stopped mooing. Old man Bhairav, the village priest, spoke after a long pause. "Young man, that land is not yours to claim. It belonged to warriors and was cursed by the dead." Arjun chuckled, brushing it off. "Sir, the only curse is ignorance. With the right tools and irrigation, we can turn it green within months." He decided to pitch his tent right at the edge of the land and begin the project immediately. The first night, the air grew thick and heavy as darkness enveloped the land. The sky was moonless, but a pale, silver glow hovered over the soil like mist. Arjun lay awake, hearing things he couldn't explain: metallic clinks like swords striking, distant weeping, and the faint rhythm of war drums. In the morning, he blamed his overactive imagination. He began cultivating with a hired crew from a neighboring village. No locals dared to work the field. Within the first week, 2 of the workers fell ill, one vomited blood and the other wandered into the woods and was found hanging from a tree with mud stuffed in his mouth. The third fled in the middle of the night, leaving his shoes behind. Arjun refused to give up. He brought in heavy machinery and tried modern methods. Nothing worked. Saplings would rot within hours. Even the earthworms avoided the soil. On the 10th night, Arjun's dreams were plagued with visions. 5 tall men, dark and skeletal, walked across a battlefield. One turned to him with hollow eyes and spoke in a whisper that felt like wind crawling under his skin. "You till what was soaked in kin's blood. You grow crops where only vengeance grows. Leave." Arjun woke up screaming. Desperate for answers, he visited Bhairav again. The priest reluctantly led him to the edge of the forest, where an ancient stone lay half buried in the dirt. Sanskrit inscriptions were carved into its weathered face. "Let none disturb the soil of Dharma's battlefield. This land remembers. This land bleeds." Legend says, Bhairav whispered, this land was where the Pandavas fought a secret war before Kurukshetra. A betrayal, a blood ritual, and a curse so strong that even time forgets it, but the land remembers. The spirits of those unjustly slain roam the field, seeking vengeance. Still, Arjun persisted. One morning, he stood barefoot on the field, trying to sow seeds with his own hands. As he dug into the earth, his fingers struck something hard. Brushing away the soil, he uncovered a rusted piece of metal. A sword. Ancient. And beside it, a skull. He screamed and stumbled backward. But the land had woken. The sky turned blood-red. Winds howled like wolves. The earth trembled as if dozens of unseen feet marched across it. Shadows rose from the soil, transparent, skeletal figures in ancient armor, eyes glowing with hatred. The villagers watched from afar as lightning struck Arjun's tent, reducing it to ash. No body was ever recovered. Just the imprint of feet, 5 sets, walking away from the scorched earth. Since that day, no one has dared approach Pandav Bhumi again. Not even birds fly overhead. It remains silent, still, and alive, breathing with rage, mourning with whispers. Some nights, when the wind is right, villagers swear they hear the sounds of battle, swords clashing, arrows flying, men screaming. And when the crops in nearby fields die suddenly, they know the land is still watching. Still remembering. Still waiting.